Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Shuri Network Digital Fellowship of the Northeast, Northwest, Yorkshire, and Humber region podcast. We dedicate this podcast to celebrating the incredible work of the NHS staff across the UK. My name is Mayflor Bernal. I am one of the Shuri Network Digital Fellows in Cohort 4, and I will be hosting this podcast series diving into stories of dedication, innovation, and compassion. We know the immense pressures and challenges the NHS workforce faces every day. This podcast aims to provide you with inspiration, support, and sense of community. Together, we will explore stories of resilience, share valuable insights, and highlight the incredible work being done by individuals like you. Join us as we celebrate your contributions and discuss strategies to thrive in this demanding environment. In today's episode, we're featuring inspiring stories from our panel members and diving into special topic, My Journey with Shuri Network. But first, we'd like to highlight the incredible Shuri Network Digital Fellowship. This award-winning program, a collaboration between the Shuri Network and NHS England, is designed to support ethnic minority healthcare professionals with a passion for health technology. Launched in July 2019, the Shuri Network helps women from ethnic minority backgrounds in the NHS and social care to develop the connections, skills, and confidence needed to ascend into senior leadership positions. This is a crucial step in ensuring that NHS leadership teams more closely reflect the diversity of their workforce. The Shuri Network champions diversity, innovation, and safety across the health and social care workforce, engaging with national bodies and senior leaders to ensure these principles are embedded into policies and systems. It is the only network specifically for women of color in digital healthcare, boosting a membership of over 3,800 professionals across the UK. The Digital Fellowship combines coaching, educational sessions, networking, and peer support to empower professionals who are currently working within the NHS and social care industries or those who aspire to progress their careers in digital health. So, let's start with introducing our panel members. For our first guest, she is a senior occupational therapist specializing in mental health who has a strong commitment to delivering person centered care and promoting recovery focused interventions. Her practice is grounded in standardized and comprehensive assessments, ensuring a holistic approach that integrates volition, habit, performance capacity, and environmental factors to support meaningful engagement in daily life. Beyond her clinical role, she serves as the regional lead for the North, covering the Northeast, Northwest, and Yorkshire and Humber for Cohort 4 of the Shuri Digital Fellowship Program. A passionate advocate for digital inclusion in healthcare, she has a keen interest in how technology and digital tools can enhance occupational therapy and allied health professions practice. Dee is a dedicated to championing diversity in digital health and exploring the role of technology in enhancing patient care to improve accessibility, efficiency, and patient outcomes. Please welcome Light Chibuzor Khalib. Light, welcome to our Shuri podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Light. For our second guest, she has over 17 years of experience in information technology service management. For the past 1 year and a half, Newcastle Hospital has employed her as an information technology change manager. In this role, she has successfully implemented numerous change initiatives that have improved operational efficiency and minimized disruptions. Her expertise in coordinating cross-functional teams has been instrumental in ensuring seamless transition during IT upgrades and system enhancements. She is very passionate about understanding technology. She also enjoys listening to music and cooking. She is a proud member of the Shuri Digital Network Fellowship Program who is excited to contribute to the team, making a significant impact in healthcare for women from ethnic minority backgrounds. Through her involvement in the program, she aims to leverage her skills and passion for technology to drive meaningful change in healthcare, particularly for women from ethnic minority backgrounds. Her commitment to this cause reflects her dedication to using her expertise for social good. Please welcome Shyni Sivadas.
Thank you for the introduction, Mayflor. That was wonderful, and it was a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Shyni. And for our third and final guest, she is a foundation year two doctor currently working in the Northeast. Digital health innovation has always piqued her interest, particularly its potential to enhance user experiences and, crucially, patient safety. She is particularly passionate about integrating technology into everyday medical practices to streamline processes and enhance communication between the healthcare providers and patients. By leveraging her skills and knowledge in digital health, she aims to contribute to the development of solutions not only improve patient outcomes but also foster a more efficient and healthcare system. She has ongoing projects in the field of digital health, and her role as a fellow has significantly expanded her opportunities, allowing her to engage with leaders in the fields and further her education in this area. This collaborative environment has enabled her to explore methodologies that can enhance the patient experience. As she continues to grow professionally, she remains committed to advocating patient-centered care and the integration of digital tools in everyday healthcare practices. Please welcome Dr. Yamini Dabra. Welcome to the Shuri podcast, Yamini.
Thank you so much, Mayflor. I'm very, very excited to be here.
Thank you. Now it's time for our panel discussion, and we have three wonderful guests with us, Light, Shiny, and Yamini.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it should be good.
So let's dive into some questions that I am sure will inspire all our listeners out there, if not most of them. Are you ready, fellows?
We are ready.
So ready.
Okay, so for our first question, we'll start with you, Light, if that's okay. Then we'll move from Light to Shiny and Yamini. Here we go. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you got started in your career?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mayflow. My journey into occupational therapy has been shaped by my deep passion for helping individuals regain independence and improve their quality of life. From an early age, I knew I wanted to be in a profession that combined both healthcare, psychology, practical problem solving, and occupational therapy felt like the perfect fit. I began my education in Nigeria, where I first obtained a diploma in occupational therapy, and then eventually I got my bachelor's in OT, and then I got a master's degree in health psychology. My clinical career started in a special needs school and rehabilitation center where I worked with children and young adults with autism, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, and learning disabilities. And then I progressed to become more involved in mental health services, moving into roles that focus on supporting adults and older adults with complex mental health condition. Currently, I work as a senior occupational therapist at Rotherham, Doncaster, South Humber NHS Foundation Trust in an older adult acute inpatient mental health setting. This role has been incredibly rewarding as I help patients regain functional independence through goal-oriented therapy, environmental adaptation, and cognitive rehabilitation. Beyond my clinical expertise, I've always been interested in how services could be improved, how interventions can be implemented, and how technology can enhance patient care. More importantly, where does occupational therapy fit with digital, or where do AHPs as a large group, how can we use technology to enhance patient care? This curiosity led me to explore the world of digital health and innovation, which is how I found my way into Shuri Digital Fellowship.
Wow, thank you. Over to you, Shiny.
Thanks, Mayflor. So, starting about my career in details, it's like um, I actually come from a state called Kerala, which is in India, and I did my bachelor's degree in electronics and communication and started my career as a level 1 IT support. So it's quite a little bit different from light. So I worked as a level 1 support for a couple of years supporting technology, and then I got this opportunity to work and be part of IT service management with my previous employer. And that as well was quite a little bit different, that I worked with corporate retail industries and um, not much related to healthcare. But I joined NHS 1 year before as a IT change manager, and that's when I really came to know how technology is utilized in healthcare and the importance of how well it needs to be managed. So from my perspective, even if I'm not contributing directly in the front line of healthcare, I myself I'm trying to put in effort to improve and ease the process of delivering technology that can be utilized by the front end users and improve the patient care. So that's where I am right now with my career. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Over to you, Yamini.
Thank you so much. Just want to say it's just so lovely hearing all these incredible women do such incredible work. Um, so my background is I moved from India and I was quite young, 11. I went to medical school at Newcastle University, always knew I wanted to do medicine, kind of, you know, the combination of obviously looking after someone, patient care, and using science to back it up. And then throughout medical school, digital health was thrown about, but again, not something you really focus on. But it's only really in foundation when I started being like working as a doctor, I really started to see how much we actually use digital technology. Um, I've always liked things like gaming and computers, and if I was good at maths, I probably would have gone down the computer engineering side, but I'm not. So, yeah, I think now being a foundation doctor, I feel like I'm at the start of my professional journey, and quite excited to see, what lies ahead. I think this fellowship has been quite life-changing, to be honest.
Thank you, Yamini. Thank you, fellows. It's amazing to listening to you, fellows. Reminded me of the common reason to why do we do what we do, and that is the care and compassion, regardless if you're an OT, a doctor,
Yeah.
or an IT manager. We are doing it because we all want the same, and that is for our patients to have a positive experience and to have a better outcome. The care that we provide is because of our values. Thank you, fellows. So, for our next
Thank you.
question, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so for our next question, what made you decide to apply for the Shuri Digital Fellow Network? Shall we start with you, Light, again?
Yeah, thank you. Mine is actually a very interesting one, because at the time I was feeling ready for a new challenge. I was already passionate about service development and innovation in occupational therapy, but I wanted to take things a step further. I was seeing more conversations about digital transformation, digital health, within our healthcare sector, and I started wondering how could technology improve mental health services, rehabilitation, patient outcome. Where do I, as an occupational therapy, fit in all of all these things? And then I received an email about Shuri Digital Fellowship, which was looking for women from global majority backgrounds in the NHS, people who are interested in stepping into digital health leadership. And that caught my attention immediately. But and I remember feeling a little hesitant at first. I didn't have a formal IT or tech background. And so I questioned whether I'll be the right fit for the program for on digital health. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that digital health is not just about coding or software, it's about improving patient outcome, designing better systems, and making healthcare more inclusive and efficient. So, as a clinicians, we're at the forefront of patient care, and so we have a unique perspective of what works and what doesn't, and how digital tools could be integrated into real world practice. So I decided to apply. I wanted to challenge myself, expand my knowledge, collaborate with people, meet, wonderful ladies like yourself, step into a space where my voice as a clinician and a woman from a global majority background could, contribute to meaningful change. And then getting selected to, our cohort four was a huge achievement. But I think what made it more special was being, the regional lead for the Northern team, because it's giving me an opportunity to not only develop my own leadership skills, but also to contribute to what we're doing within the data space, collaborate with, other NHS digital leaders, and, actively contribute to discussions on digital transformation. Looking back, applying for the fellowship was one of the best decisions I've made in my career, because it's completely expanded my perspective on what's possible in healthcare and giving me the confidence to advocate for digital inclusion and innovation. Thank you.
Wow, amazing. Thank you, Light.
Thank you.
I'm blown away with what you've just shared in there. Okay, Shiny, over to you.
Sure. So I came to know about Shuri Network from one of its alumni. And as I said, I was quite new to NHS when I first heard about it. So the information or which I got from my friend who was part of the cohort 3 was actually so interesting that we get to know more about what's happening in NHS, because as I said, I didn't know how the technology was used, what are the various roles that I can contribute to, and what are the learnings that I can take from, because this is my first experience in healthcare. So this I found as a very good opportunity to actually learn more of healthcare technology and to grow or strengthen my leadership skills. And I think that will actually help me to pursue other team members or other women around me to actually pursue leadership roles in technology, because many of them think technology or being a leader, especially in technology, is something that, it's not achievable or needs that extra focus, leaving things behind. So I think getting more knowledge from here, I can pass it on and give that courage to others or who are stepping or keeping themselves back, from pursuing their dreams. So that's why I chose to be part of Shuri Network.
Thank you.
Thank
Yamini?
you.
Thank you. I was just saying that sometimes I think the right opportunity comes at the right time, because when I started to look into digital health, I actually emailed one of the consultants who's a leader of digital health at my local trust, and we were, in talks to see what I could do to help. And then he emailed me over this Shuri Digital Fellowship, and he said, "Look, feels like this is something you would be interested in. Just have a look and, think about whether you'd apply." And, almost like Light said, I said, I have probably zero background in digital health. Like I've, did a bit of coding on the side, but like that's miles away from using digital health in the NHS. And with my starting off in the NHS, it was like 7 months working in the NHS and learning about the systems. And obviously, as a doctor, we're using our electronic patient records so much, using technology to look at scans, send it across to. So it was, I was using it all the time, and I wanted to improve it. And on top of that, a fellowship that's almost, it seemed perfect. It was like for ethnic minority women who don't have a voice. Not that I say they don't have a voice, but giving them a platform to really thrive. And I thought, well, that's, incredible. So, I said, fine, I'll apply. I was really happy when I got in. I was ecstatic. I was celebrating all evening. And I think it's, not just, meeting digital leaders and learning about how digital health is used in the NHS, and also connecting with the fellows, like, you know, meeting people like in London at that conference, especially learning different ideas of how different trusts are using to improve their digital, um, how their digital innovation. And I feel like being quite early on in my career, I felt like I was at a crossroads, and applying to this fellowship and learning so much, like meeting with our local chief medical officers, information officers, I think it's really inspired me and given me so many ideas that I'm now able to apply at work, which is really exciting. So yeah, I think just the main points were just to be wanting to learn more, wanting to connect with the right people and learn from other incredible, inspiring women.
Thank you, Yamini. So, what I've heard from you fellows is it's a new challenge, it's innovation, the digital transformation, and how can technology influence the patient's outcome. But more so, as women from global majority, it's because we believe that we can contribute to that change that we all want at the right opportunity and at the right time. Thank you, fellows. So, for our third question, what have you found useful on the Shuri Network program, and have you been able to apply that to any of your work? Who would like to come first?
Well, I could go if that's okay.
Please do.
Yeah, I would say that for me, the coaching session has been so invaluable. Because one of the most unexpected but like life-changing, stuff happened during my coaching session. At the time, I was waiting for a promotion to a senior band, but that process was being delayed. Now, during one of my coaching sessions, my coach challenged me to be proactive, to ask the right question, push for clarity, on the delay. She gave me like strategies I could use to sort of push this in through. And I took that advice seriously, and then I had a direct conversations with the stakeholders involved, and I successfully secured my promotion during this fellowship. And I think that experience just reinforced the importance of self-advocacy, confidence, and the importance of coaching, which is what we get during this fellowship. Another thing that I have benefited from the fellowship in itself is the ability to step out from my comfort zone. If I wasn't a member of Shuri, I would not be presenting in the digital transformation group of my trust. They were interested in Shuri and the role, and my role in terms of digital innovation and healthcare. And this opened up a conversation about how I could contribute as, an OT or as an AHP in digital transformation within our mental health services. And not only that, that has also brought other opportunities to join the digital team in my trust, and also at a regional level as an occupational therapist without any tech background. And one of the things that I have benefited, or I've gotten from being a part of this fellowship, is the fact that it has expanded my professional network. Like, I am talking to the most inspiring women in digital health, every one of you, every one of the fellows here, and also through the network event, through the coaching program, through the educational sessions, hearing from women who have broken the scale, the ceiling over them, who have pushed through, who have been courageous. Hearing their experiences has just given me like a bigger picture that if they could do it, I can also do it, irrespective of not having a tech background. And that has been really, really amazing.
Amazing. Thank you, Lai. Over to you, Shiny.
Thanks, Mayflor. Like, it's really inspiring to hear from you already, and I can see what kind of leader that you will become one day. Great.
Thank you, Shiny.
No worries, Light. All right. So, my journey with Shuri Network has been amazing so far, because the various coaching sessions and various other sessions with the great leaders of NHS, as Light mentioned, that was really an eye opener for me. I would say the key takeaway that I always kept in mind from various sessions that we had is um, it kept on reminding us to believe in ourselves and to lead without fear. So every step, if I draw my step back, that resonates in me, and it's like, no, Shiny, you can do it, go ahead. So that keeps coming up with my in my workspace, and that's really great takeaway that I had from the sessions. And I feel now I something that I keep to myself, or I keep telling to myself, and maybe my team members around me, is like, if you have an opinion about anything, feel free to talk about it. It's like, it keeps I keep telling them every voices matter. It's not maybe that they may take it or they may not take it, but then if you have an opinion, if you have a suggestion, be go forward and talk about it. So that's something that I started practicing after joining the Shuri fellowship program. And with this, all the confidence that I got from my coaching sessions and various speakers, I have been able to express my ideas in improving our process in my workspace to my leadership. Um, and that was taken quite good and appreciated with my team, which I felt really good about. So,
Thank
yes,
you.
I'm so thankful for being part of this Shruti Network program.
Over to you, Yamini.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'd just like to echo that there's such inspiring stories, and it's so nice to hear like sort of tangible evidence of what the fellowship has done. Um, for me, especially, I think there was sort of two things I got from it. One was the whole leading with courage thing. I let my local trust know, like, because initially I'd been emailing a few sort of digital health leaders and management team and never really heard anything back from them. And sometimes I feel like being one of 300 junior doctors, sorry, resident doctors, I think sometimes your voice isn't heard because you're one email out of 100. And then I emailed them back after I got in and done a couple of teaching sessions, and I said, look, just to let you know, I am a Shuri Digital Fellow, and here I am asking again. And my coach really encouraged me to do this because one of the consultants I work with. So I was like, okay. And so I emailed back, and then probably in about a day, I think I'd emailed on like a Monday, and Tuesday morning at 9 a.m., they were like, let's set up a call. Let's see what you can
Wow.
do to, yeah. And it was incredible. And I was like, what? Wow. And chatted with, the information officer, with the digital IT consultant, and even the public health consultant was in this call. And then, so my role now, it's not, it's the role that they've kind of made up a little bit, because they've never had a fellow at, like, a doctor fellow in the north, like in my local trust. Um, and now I represent the resident doctors and their opinion on electronic patient record system. So, every month I'm sending out surveys and getting all of my colleagues' opinions back, because actually your F1 and F2s, the nurses, etc., use the EPR the most. And we all share frustrations when things don't work, when, the Meditech unplanned downtime horror. So, all of these things, and then I sit in a group of consultants, senior nurses, midwives, chief information officer, and I tell them, and I'm able to say the opinion of all these doctors and say, look, you need to get rid of this section because none of us ever use it, and it just makes it all clunky. And then they actually take that on board and get rid of it, which was great. So, that only legitimately happened because I'm part of this fellowship. And I think the other thing is the coaching sessions. And I'll be honest, when I first started, I said, I have no idea what I'm meant to say in this coaching session. I don't even know what a coaching session really means. And then
I can relate.
yeah, I was like, hello, is this, what am I doing here? And then my coach just sort of said, just talk, say what you're thinking. And I actually found out, like, I was managed to reflect on things that I didn't even know were subconsciously holding me back. The self-doubt of, oh, is this the right decision? Is this career choice the right career choice? Am I wasting my time in this? And my coach was just about, she taught me some really good strategies on how to make conscious, smart decisions. And I found myself, being honestly a better leader at work, better communication with my, not just the doctors, the other healthcare professionals, the HCAs, nurses, sisters, and physios, anyone. So I think, overall, I've found myself, one, being just more knowledgeable, two, being more confident, and three, being able to connect with such, because everyone does such many different things. Like, my life is just, oh, doctors. But now I'm like, no, there's all these incredible roles out there, and I'm learning so much, and it's given me a really good perspective on the MDT, really. So yeah, honestly, best decision ever, this fellowship.
Well done, and thank you, Yamini. I totally agree with Light, with Shiny, and Yamini, and I'm sure the rest of our fellows too will agree with everything that you said. We all learned new strategies for career progression, whether that's through speaking up, having the courage to voice your opinions or your group's opinions, and the coaching program empowered us all in many ways in different forms, and we all gained confidence to step up. Thank you to everyone for sharing your experiences and being honest to your answer. This has been very exciting and inspiring moment for all of us. That's it for today's episode of Shuri Network Northeast, Northwest, Yorkshire, and Humber Region podcast. Thank you again to Shuri Network and to all our incredible guests and to you, the listeners, for tuning in on this podcast series. And final words for our NHS heroes. To everyone, your dedication and hard work do not go unnoticed. Every patient you help, every extra mile you go makes a tremendous difference. Keep inspiring, keep innovating, and keep being the incredible workforce that drives our healthcare system forward. And as what Nelson Mandela said, it is in our hands to create a better world for all who live in it. This is Mayflor Bernal, your host for this podcast. Bye for now. Thank you, everyone.
Bye and
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.